Hey everyone, welcome to the Bold and the Beautiful. I'm Alma, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Bold and Beautiful update, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. Bill Spencer paced like a caged lion, his silk tie loosened and his jaw set in that familiar line of barely contained fury, while Katie sat rigidly on the edge of the antique sofa, her manicured fingers twisting the hem of her designer blouse. Across from them, Luna Nozawa lounged defiantly in an armchair, her hand protectively cradling the slight swell of her belly, her dark hair cascading over one shoulder as if she hadn't a care in the world, though the handcuffs glinting on her wrists from the house arrest monitor told a different story. Poppy, Luna's mother, hovered near the doorway, her eyes darting between her daughter and the Spencers like a cornered animal, her bohemian skirt whispering against the floor with every nervous shift. "This is insane," Poppy finally burst out, her voice a raw scrape against the room's opulent silence. "You're treating her like a criminal when all she did was fall in love. Luna didn't ask for any of this. Will, the baby, none of it." Katie's head snapped up, her blue eyes flashing like steel under pressure. "Fall in love? Is that what you call drugging my son, seducing him, and trapping him with a pregnancy you orchestrated? Poppy, wake up. Your daughter's a monster, and that child inside her is the evidence." Luna's lips curled into a smirk, undeterred, her gaze locking onto Katie with a venom that belied her delicate frame. "Monster? That's rich coming from the woman whose family empire was built on lies and manipulations. Will wanted me, Katie. He chose me over your precious little Electra Forrester. This baby is his future, our future." Bill stopped pacing, slamming his fist down on the mahogany coffee table hard enough to rattle the crystal decanter. "Enough. We've waited all week for Bridget's results, and now we know the truth. Will is the father. But that doesn't change a damn thing. You're going back to prison, Luna, where you belong. No more games, no more sob stories." Poppy lunged forward then, her face crumpling into a mask of outrage, tears streaking her mascara as she jabbed a finger toward Bill. "You heartless bastard. That's my grandchild you're talking about. You think you can just rip her away from me? From us? Luna's all I have left after Tom, after everything, and now you're destroying her life all over again." The room seemed to shrink under the weight of her words, the air charged with the electric hum of unspoken histories, as Luna's eyes gleamed with a mix of triumph and madness. "Mom's right, Bill. You Spencers always think you own the world. But this baby? It's my ticket out. We'll fight for us. You'll see." Outside, in the manicured gardens where the scent of blooming jasmine clashed with the salty ocean breeze, Electra Forrester leaned against a stone balustrade, her phone clutched so tightly her knuckles whitened. She was a vision in a flowing white sundress that fluttered like a ghost in the wind, her long auburn hair whipping across her face, but her expression was anything but ethereal. Storm clouds gathered in her emerald eyes, remnants of the slap she delivered to Luna days earlier still echoing in her trembling hand. Will Spencer approached from the French doors, his broad shoulders slumped under the burden of the news, his usual cocky grin replaced by a haunted vacancy. "Electra," he murmured, stopping a respectful distance away, as if afraid she'd shatter like fine china. "I didn't know. I mean, the drugs, the lies. How could she do this to me? To us?" Electra turned, her voice a whip crack in the quiet afternoon. "Us. Will, there was never an us with her. You were roofied, manipulated, like a puppet in one of her twisted fantasies. And now, a baby. Our future, tainted before it even begins." He stepped closer, reaching for her hand, but she pulled back, the hurt raw and jagged. "I love you, Electra. Not her, not some illusion she created. This changes nothing between us. We can fight this, get the best lawyers, make sure that child has everything without her poison." She laughed bitterly, a sound like breaking glass, wiping at the tears that betrayed her fury. "Fight it? Will, your family's already circling the wagons, talking custody like she's livestock. Katie wants the baby, Bill's ready to bury Luna alive, and me? I'm the fool who thought we had a shot at normal. But Poppy, God, Poppy's out there defending that witch like she's Mother of the Year. How do we even begin to heal from this? Will pulled her into his arms despite her resistance, his voice a low rumble against her hair. We start by not letting her win.
Come inside with me.
We face this together, the results, the fallout, all of it. Electra hesitated, then nodded, her resolve hardening like steel in the forge, as they turned back toward the house where the storm was just gathering force. Meanwhile, across town in the sterile glow of Finn Finnegan's medical office at the hospital, the air conditioner hummed a monotonous dirge, underscoring the chill that had settled between father and aunt like frost on a window pane. Finn stood by his desk, arms crossed over his white coat, his chiseled features etched with betrayal as Lee Finnegan perched on the edge of a visitor's chair, her posture ramrod straight, her dark eyes avoiding his gaze. The door clicked shut behind Poppy, who had stormed in unannounced, her face a battlefield of shock and denial after the Spencer call detailing Luna's survival and the paternity bombshell. You lied to me, Lee. Poppy spat first, her voice echoing off the linoleum floors, hands balled into fists at her sides. Told me my daughter was dead, gone forever, and now she's pregnant, alive, fighting for her life against those vultures. How could you? After everything we've been through, you let me grieve like a fool. Lee rose slowly, her expression a fortress cracking under siege, her voice measured but laced with acid. Grieve? Poppy, you created that ticking time bomb. Luna's crimes, murder, deception, now this twisted pregnancy scheme, they're on you. I saved her life, yes, but hiding her was mercy, not a gift. And Finn, don't you start. I did what I had to for family. Finn's control snapped like a taut wire, his voice booming through the room as he slammed a chart down on the desk. Family? Aunt Lee, you played God. Sneaking Luna out of that prison clinic, faking her death records, keeping Steffy in the dark while our world's unraveling. Do you have any idea what this could do to my wife? To Hayes and Phoebe? She's barely back from her trip, and now this, your mercy, could destroy everything I've built. Lee whirled on him, her composure fracturing, tears glistening but unshed. Destroy? Boy, you have no idea the fires I walked through to protect you from Poppy's mess. Luna's your half-sister, Finn, your blood, and I shielded you from the shame. Poppy waltzed back into our lives with her free spirit nonsense, dragging Tom's bastard child into our perfect world, and look what happened. Drugs, scandals, now a Spencer grandchild. I confronted her years ago, told her to stay away, but she ignored me. This outrage? It's her legacy. Poppy recoiled as if slapped, her outrage morphing into a guttural sob. Legacy? You judgmental bitch. You with your doctor title and your holier-than-thou sneer. I raised Luna alone after Tom died, scraping by while you lorded over Finn like some saint. And now you blast me for her choices? She's pregnant, Lee. Innocent life, caught in your web of lies. Finn stepped between them, his hands raised in futile mediation, sweat beading on his brow under the fluorescent lights. Stop. Both of you, this isn't about blame. It's about what's next. Luna's alive, the baby's wills, and Steffy's going to find out eventually. Aunt Lee, you blasted Poppy then, and now you're blasting me for wanting truth? I need justice for the victims, for my family. No more secrets. The room fell into a heavy hush, broken only by Poppy's ragged breaths, as the three circled each other like wary predators, the bonds of blood fraying thread by thread under the weight of revelations long buried. In the sun-drenched atrium of Forrester Creations, where bolts of silk and satin cascaded like waterfalls from ceiling racks, Hope Logan rifled through a stack of designer portfolios with the fervor of a woman reclaiming her destiny. Her blonde waves were pulled into a practical ponytail, her red power suit a stark contrast to the soft pastels around her, and she hummed softly under her breath, a rare moment of peace amid the chaos of Luna's resurrection rippling through their interconnected lives. Ridge Forrester loomed nearby, his arms folded, ever the patriarch, while Carter Walton adjusted his glasses, scanning submissions with a lawyer's precision. But it was Deke Sharpe who lingered in the doorway, his lanky frame clad in a crisp button-down and jeans, a leather portfolio tucked under one arm like a talisman. He cleared his throat, stepping into the light, his boyish face alight with a mix of nerves and determination. Hope?
Got a minute?
I slipped this into the stack earlier. Thought maybe you'd take a look. Designs for hope for the future. Something fresh, inspired by the edge Deacon's always talking about. Hope looked up, her face breaking into a genuine smile that softened the lines of worry etched by recent scandals.
Deke.
Of course, come in. Dad, Carter, you have to see this. My brother's got talent pouring out of him like it's second nature. Ridge arched a skeptical brow, flipping through the sketches, bold geometrics intertwined with fluid lines, evoking urban grit meets high couture.
Not bad, kid.
Reminds me of my early days sketching in garages. But Forrester's cutthroat. You ready for that? Deke nodded, rubbing the back of his neck, his eyes flicking to the floor where shadows danced from the skylights. More than ready. After everything with Dad and Sheila, I need this, a fresh start. No more bartending at Il Giardino, dodging crazy ex-wives. This is me, putting roots down. Carter chuckled, closing a file with a snap. Roots in fashion? Bold move. But if Hope's vouching, you've got my vote for an interview. Just don't mention Luna. Last thing we need is more Nozawa drama infiltrating these walls. Hope's expression darkened briefly at the name, her hand pausing on a fabric swatch. Luna. God. With her alive and pregnant by Will? It's a powder keg. Electra's devastated, Will's reeling, and Poppy's out there raging like the world's ending. I can't even imagine telling Steffi. Deke shifted uncomfortably, the secret of Luna's survival burning like acid in his chest. He'd overheard Deacon's confession, promised to keep quiet to protect Hope from the immediate blast. Yeah, well, families, right? Messy as hell. But hey, if I get my foot in the door here, maybe I can design something to armor us all against the crazy. Hope laughed, a light sound that cut through the tension, pulling him into a quick hug. That's the spirit. Stick around, Ridge is about to grill you on your inspirations. As Deke dove into his pitch, sketches unfurling like promises on the glass table, the atrium buzzed with potential, a fragile oasis amid the gathering tempests threatening to engulf them all. Back at the Spencer estate, the late afternoon light slanted golden through the bay windows, illuminating the wreckage of half-eaten sandwiches and crumpled napkins from the tense wait for Bridget Forrester's arrival. Bridget swept in like a whirlwind of compassion and science, her lab coat pristine over a simple sheath dress, a manila envelope clutched in her hand like a verdict from the gods. Bill rose immediately, his commanding presence filling the room, while Katie gripped the armrest, her breath held. Luna straightened, a predatory glint in her eye, and Poppy wrung her hands, whispering frantic pleas under her breath. Electra and Will stood off to the side, hands intertwined, a united front against the unknown. Bridget, Bill boomed, his voice gravel-rough with impatience. Tell us. Is Will the father? Bridget's eyes softened with sympathy as she opened the envelope, scanning the results one final time before nodding gravely.
Yes.
The DNA matches conclusively. The child is Will's. A collective gasp rippled through the room, Poppy's knees buckling as she sank onto the sofa, her outrage erupting in a wail that shattered the fragile calm.
No.
This can't, my baby girl. Trapped with your spawn? You Spencers, you'll corrupt her, steal her away. Luna's suffered enough. Prison, lies, death hoaxes. This is cruelty. Luna's face twisted from shock to savage glee, her hand stroking her belly as she leaned forward.
See? Told you.
Will's mine now, ours. You can't deny blood, Katie. Imagine the headlines. Spencer Ayres' love child with a bad girl. Poetic, isn't it? Katie surged to her feet, her voice a venomous hiss. Love child? This is extortion, plain and simple. Bill, and I will seek full custody. Raise this baby right, away from your madness. You'll rot in a cell, Luna, plotting schemes that go nowhere. Electra's grip on Will tightened, her voice trembling but fierce. Custody?
Over my dead body.
Will and I will fight for what's fair. But Poppy, your outrage is laughable. You raised a killer, a liar, and now you cry foul? Spare us. Will pulled Electra closer, his face ashen, whispering to her, I never wanted this, but if it's mine, we'll make it work. For us. Bill nodded curtly to Bridget, who lingered awkwardly. Thanks, document. Now, if you'll excuse us, we've got calls to make, lawyers, Baker for the rearrest. Luna, your freedom ends today. As Bridget slipped out, Poppy rounded on Luna, her maternal fury boiling over. How did you let this happen? Trapping a Spencer boy. I taught you better, or did I? God, what have I unleashed? Luna's eyes narrowed, a dark promise flickering. You unleashed me, Mom. And this baby's just the beginning. At the hospital, the confrontation between Finn, Lee, and Poppy had simmered into a standoff, the clock on the wall ticking like a countdown to detonation. Finn paced now, his mind a whirlwind of ethical dilemmas and marital vows, while Lee perched on the desk's edge, her arms crossed defensively. Poppy, spent from her tirade, slumped in a chair, mascara-streaked cheeks a testament to her unraveling. Finn, Lee said softly, her tone shifting to plea. I blasted Poppy because she deserved it, waltzing in with her hippie dreams, seducing Tom, leaving chaos. But for you, I hid Luna to protect your career, your marriage. Steffi's strong. But this? Finding out her husband's daughter is a fugitive pregnant by a Spencer? It'd break her. Finn halted, his blue eyes stormy. Break her? Or us? You decided that for me, Lee. Blasted decisions without consulting, faking deaths, smuggling patients. Justice demands truth now. Luna's crimes don't vanish because she's carrying Will's kid. Poppy lifted her head, her voice hoarse. Justice? From the woman who condemned me for loving freely? Lee, you always hated me, called me a gold digger, a threat. Now Luna pays for it. But that baby, it's innocent. Finn, your family, help us. He shook his head, resolve hardening. Family's why I'm blasting you both. No more cover-ups. I'll tell Steffi myself tonight. And, Lee, your resentment ends here. Own your choices or lose us all. The door burst open then, a nurse poking her head in with a page for Finn, but the interruption only amplified the silence that followed, thick with the ghosts of secrets clawing their way to the surface. Across the city, in the cozy confines of a cliffside café overlooking Malibu's crashing waves, Deke Sharpe sipped an espresso, his sketchpad open but untouched, his thoughts miles away on the brotherly pact he'd made with Deacon. The sun dipped low, painting the horizon in fiery oranges, when Electra Forrester appeared at the wrought iron gate, her sundress swapped for jeans and a sweater against the cooling breeze, her face a map of exhaustion from the Spencer drama. She'd come at Hope's urging, a blind coffee run to clear her head, but fate, ever the soap opera puppeteer, had other plans. Deke glanced up, doing a double take at the striking young woman weaving through tables, her poise reminiscent of the Forresters he'd admired from afar. Electra, he ventured as she approached the wrong table, mistaking it for hers. She paused, tilting her head, a polite smile curving her lips. Yes? Do I know you? He stood, extending a hand, his grin easy despite the butterflies. Deke Sharpe, Deacon's son. Hope's half-brother. She mentioned you might drop by, said you could use a friendly face after, well, everything. Electra's eyes widened, then softened with recognition, shaking his hand firmly. Sharpe? Oh, right. Hope's been raving about your designs. Small world. Mind if I join? The Spencers are a circus right now. Paternity reveals, custody wars. I needed air. Deke pulled out a chair, waving the waiter over.
Please. Circus is right.
Dad's filled me in bits. Luna alive, pregnant with Will's kid? Sounds like a bad plot twist. She sank down, exhaling sharply. Worse than bad. Poppy's losing it, screaming about family rights like she didn't raise a sociopath. And Will, he's torn, but he's mine. This baby complicates everything. Deke leaned in, his voice gentle. Complicates, yeah. But you're strong Forrester blood, right? I've got my own messes. Sneaking portfolios, hiding Luna's secret from Hope to spare her stress. Spilling now feels like betrayal. Electra's gaze sharpened, intrigue flickering. Secret? You know about Luna and didn't tell? Bold. But I get it, timing's everything. Tell me about these designs, distract me from the outrage. As Deke flipped open his pad, sketches blooming like confessions, their laughter mingled with the waves' roar, an unexpected spark igniting amid the day's debris. Little did they know, this chance meeting was the first thread in a tapestry of alliances and heartaches yet to weave. The evening shadows lengthened over Los Angeles as the Spencer mansion emptied into a flurry of activity. Lawyers on speed dial, Deputy Chief Baker's cruiser idling in the drive, Luna's defiant protests echoing as cuffs clicked anew. Poppy trailed the procession to the squad car, her outrage a torrent of pleas and curses. You can't do this. She's carrying a Spencer heir. Your blood, Bill. This is vengeance, not justice. Bill stood firm on the steps, Katie at his side, their united front unyielding. Vengeance? For the lives she ruined? Save it, Poppy. Your daughter's choices led here. Inside, Will pulled Electra aside in the study, the fire crackling like unspoken fears. I spilled everything to Dad earlier. The confusion, the love I feel for you. This baby will navigate it, but not with her claws in us. Electra nodded, her hand on his cheek. We will. Poppy's rage changes nothing. We're endgame. At the hospital, Finn's confrontation with Lee peaked in a hushed hallway, her apologies tumbling out like confessions. I was wrong, Finn. Blasting you. Hiding it all. But for Steffy, promise me time? He sighed, clasping her shoulder. Time's up, Aunt Lee, truth heals. And in the cafe's twilight hush, Deke walked Electra to her car, their conversation lingering on dreams and disasters. Spill more sometime? He asked, hopeful. She smiled, enigmatic. Maybe. Life's full of surprises. As stars pricked the velvet sky, the bold and the beautiful pulsed on, secrets spilling like wine from an overturned glass, binding fates in intricate, unforgiving knots.